Guys, the Open 8 was released, so biggest surprises, Eric?
None. I didn't. This is pretty much how I saw the brackets playing out. I know we can go back and forth on should Chaparral have made it, should Chaparral not have made it, but looking at these games, it's incredible because all these games are going to be competitive, and you're going to see football at the highest level. There's good balance. There's two 4A teams, obviously with Saguaro as well as Salpointe Catholic. And I mean, I want to see all the games right now. I don't even care which one I get sent to. They're going to be 4 great games.
I'm really surprised by Chaparral because once they beat Pinnacle, they didn't really jump up that high, and that was an Open 8 team. Then they beat Liberty, and then they got a big boost and hit that number 8. So, and it's really crazy to think how close this really was. If Jack Miller does not find someone in the end zone at the buzzer, completely different conversation because Chaparral's not in if they lose to Liberty by not scoring that touchdown.
I think what helped Chaparral and what hurt Red Mountain was the fact that Chaparral just played a better schedule, and that's no slight at Red Mountain. I mean, you see a team like South Mountain, they won their region. They finished 7-3. They didn't even make the 5A playoffs. Something that needs to be tweaked, I think, moving forward, but for now, I'm just excited to see the postseason start.
One of the teams in the Open 8, Pinnacle, but without their starting quarterback and J.D. Johnson, how does this affect them?
It does and it doesn't. I mean, you saw what they did against Boulder Creek, 52-0. So J.D. Johnson's a great player, but there are a lot of great players around him. And Pinnacle's defense has been good the entire season. And this time of year, when you're playing these elite offenses, you're going to have to rely on that defense.
Whether there's blood in the water or not, Lathan Ransom is going to smell it. Young quarterback, throw in my direction. This is a tough Salpointe defense. I'm not expecting a 52-0 here because Salpointe knows how to get it done on the defensive side of the ball.
And it's weird because you have two teams in the Open 8 that aren't going to be playing with their starting quarterbacks. No Jake Martinelli at Horizon. Like Saguaro isn't enough of a handful to begin with all your starters. Ty Wisdom is going to have to figure out a way to attack that SaberCat defense.
State playoffs. What games are you most excited? We'll start with 6A.
I think I'm going to start with Desert Ridge and Cesar Chavez. Desert Ridge is a team that they've had a great year. They're battle tested. They've got a really good coaching staff. Jeremy Hathcock has done a great job with that. And another game down at the bottom of the bracket is Basha and Desert Vista. Two of the coldest teams coming in the playoffs. Something has to give. Both are on losing streaks. So whoever survives that is probably going to see Perry in the second round.
On that Perry game, I would argue that Mountain Ridge might be the most dangerous 14 seed that I've seen in a long time.
Yep.
Note, though, they are the only 16 seed to make it to a state championship anyway, so it's hard to say that this team is better than that team.
Knowledge drop.
But I'm really excited to see Mountain Ridge take on Perry. Perry's kind of cooled down a little bit. Mountain Ridge has had some phenomenal victories in this program. Guys, they were 16 straight losses coming into this year. They're in the state tournament.
Yeah, Doug Medowski's done a great job with that.
Okay, guys, before we go, 4A, real quick, what's your game?
Casa Grande, Walden Grove. An interesting rematch considering Casa Grande is the lower seed, and they've already beaten Walden Grove this season.
And not to mention, they just beat CDO. Canyon del Oro, one of the best teams in 4A in this bracket. They are coming in hot, and as a lower seed, they might make some serious noise. Another game I'm looking at, though, is going to be Peoria Greenway. Cactus is right under them. Cactus Peoria just played an intense rivalry game. Cactus a 20-0 comeback, unanswered victory in the second half. They might meet again for the 35th time in school history if Greenway's young offensive core can't find a way around Peoria. We might be looking at another big second-round rivalry game just to cap off what's going to be a great 4A tournament.
One other opening round game I want to touch on real quick is Prescott taking on Desert Edge. These two teams are more than familiar with one another. They played each other last season. They played each other this season. And are you a little bit surprised that Edge is a 4?
Yeah, kind of curious. They really dominated their games in the West Valley region against Cactus, who was 2 spots above them. And they were really up there before these rankings came out. So they're still going to have those 2 home games. But kind of interesting that they dropped down to 4. I still think in my mind that they're, if not the favorite, one of the 2 to win this.
I agree.
Awesome, you guys. The playoffs are here. So excited. This was another AZ Audibles presented by Venezia's. For more, head to sports360az.com.